I'm not afraid, afraid to let go. I know you're holding me. You are the one I'm leaning on. You are my hope and my strength. I just want to be where you are, living daily in your presence. I don't want to worship from afar, draw me near to where you are. I want to be where you are. I want to be where you are. Dwelling in your presence. Dwelling in your presence. Feasting at your table. Feasting at your table. Surrounded by your glory. Surrounded by your glory. In your presence. That's where I always want to be. I just want to be with you.
Now look what happened now, brothers and sisters. On the Thyatira, you see, right here he was baptized, Constantine. When Thyatira came now, pure island church. The church began to keep Sunday and Sabbath together. And God said it's not going to work. Now, what happened now? God now had to get some new workers in the vineyard. Because friends, on the Thyatira, that's where Sunday came in the church. And Easter, and hot cross bun. Yeah? You ever wonder why that was paganism? It came in the church. So the 6-hour workers who were doing so good, they dropped the ball right here. Now, question now, number 5, 6 now. Who do the 9th-hour workers? Because the Bible says now, he went out of the 9th hour. Who do we find under the church of Thyatira doing anything good? It was the Protestant reformers. The reformers! God called men like Luther and Knox and Tyndale and Wesley, go work in my vineyard. Now when they came in, it was late, you know. It's late, but it wasn't too late. And friends, didn't these men work? Yeah. You read the first half of Great Controversy. They work, they work, they work. History said, please read now the what? The Protestant reformers?
Protestant reformers had built on Christ, and the gates of hell could not prevail.
There it is, all these men were working. Workers. Please read the Reformation.
The Reformation had been planted, and it continued and strengthened and extended.
So what happened now? The 6-hour workers were the Gentiles, Christians. They were doing a good job, but they dropped the ball. 9th hour now, he goes out. 3 p.m. Remember now, the day is almost over. 3 o'clock, you know. Sun is almost setting. Christ is soon come. Yeah. He goes out and he brings in the reformers. Now, the reformers were very good, but something happened where God had to go out 2 hours earlier and call in some other workers. Watch it now. What eventually happened to the Reformation? It was prophesied. Revelation chapter 3 says now, unto the angel of the church of Sardis, right, these things saith he that hath the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name. That name was Protestant. Thou livest and art what? So he was alive, but no, you're dead. He says, be watchful, strengthen the things that remain, because they're about to die. Friends, on the Thyatira, right? Remember we said, right? The early church, they had the gift of prophecy. When they hit Thyatira, there was no gift of prophecy. You know why? The early church kept the law. You see, to the law and the prophets. If you have a church keeping the law, you will have a prophet. The early church kept the law. They didn't keep Sunday. So they had the gift of prophecy. By the time we got to Thyatira, there was no law, therefore there was no what? Prophecy. So there was no gift of prophecy here. The church, you know why it's called the Dark Ages? There was not one invention that came out of the Dark Ages. People took a shower once per month. The Queens of England, yeah. People, listen, it was bad in the Dark Ages. There was not one scientific, medical invention that came out of the Dark Ages. It was darkness, scientifically, medically, darkness. Because they had no prophet. You see, now watch it now. On the Titanic, under the night workers, right? Then came Sardis. Under Sardis now, the Reformation continued. Under Sardis, something was about to die. What happened, friends? The Reformation, feel it now? It began to die like this plant. You see, you remove sun from plant, it will die. You remove water from plant, and because the light of the law of God was taken away, the Reformation began to die. Look at it now. Something that began so strong. Here's Luther burning the papal bull. It began so strong, but then it eventually died. Look what history said now. Follow me now. She said, please read now. The record says now, the Protestant churches.
The Protestant churches of America and those of Europe as well, so highly favored in receiving the blessings of the Reformation, failed to press forward in the path of reform.
What happened now? Please read now. The what?
Though a few faithful men arose from time to time to proclaim new truth and expose long-cherished error, the majority, like the Jews in Christ's day, or the papists in the time of Luther, were content to believe as their fathers had believed, to live lives as they had lived.
They didn't go any further. They became stagnant, a dead pool. If the water isn't running after a while, it will start breeding mosquito. Yeah? It's stagnant. Look what happened now, right? She says now, Therefore, religion again degenerated in formalism, and errors and superstitions which would have been cast aside had the church continued to walk in the light of God's word, were retained and cherished. Let me tell you one of the superstitions that came out of that Dark Ages. Today, when you say you're not a scratcher, what that mean? Who tell you that? It mean you need to go to the doctor. That's what it mean, right? And if you keep on scratching, you need to go to the doctor. But today it's superstitious. If you're on a scratcher, why did I get something? Yeah? My mother called me, she said, son, we keep on dreaming about fish. I said, fish? We ain't fish. What the fish from? Where do we get these things from? If a black cat cross the road, good Lord. Huh? If you break a glass, show sour. Friends, where did this stuff come from? It came out of the Dark Ages. And these things are so inundated in Jamaica. And you know we're superstitious. We are one of the most superstitious people on the whole planet. Full of superstition. These things came out of the Dark Ages. And it lingers in me. Please read what she says now. What?
Thus, the spirit inspired by the Reformation gradually died out, until there was almost as great need of reform in the Protestant churches as the Roman Church in the time of Luther.
Let me show you how bad it got now. I'm going to fast forward today. The 9th workers died. They were dead. This is an article, an old article. It says, Pope sounds a theme for unity in the first sermon at Lutheran service. Now watch it. That's what the article said. And by the way, these people ain't no Christian. This is a secular newspaper. But they know history. They said this now. Pope John Paul II, in a historic visit to Lutheran Church, said yesterday that despite bitter past differences between Roman Catholic and Lutheran, we desire unity, we work for unity. The article said now, it is also the first time that a pope had attended a service of a Lutheran church, which was founded by the precepts of Martin Luther, the excommunicated German priest who led the what? Reformation that split the church what? Years ago. He said now, Paul had visited other present churches in his travel around the world, but this is the first trip to Rome, to a church that once considered the Pope the Antichrist. So what this is saying, the Lutheran church that Luther started, they used to believe the Pope is the Antichrist. Today, they don't believe that. You see, friends, the Reformation died, and the only group of people who still believe that the Pope is the Antichrist are us, and some of us don't even believe that anymore. We think the Pope is our friend. Vast majority of us don't believe that. They say he's a good guy. And you know how I know? You see, I know how we are now. Because I'm one of y'all. You see, everything come from foreign is good. I guarantee you, if we heard that Pope Francis decide to come visit Sherwood Church, you would have space. Would come and give him glass, drink water. I'm telling you, friends, if you don't catch yourself, you find yourself. You have to catch yourself like when John wanted to bow down to the angel. I'm telling you, you revere the man. If Jamaica heard the Pope was coming, I guarantee you the Prime Minister would be there. See, I'm sure he would come to me, because I'm a nobody, I'm saying. But Pope Francis coming, even crooks stop wrong. Yeah, all teeth take a break. Pope is coming. From the airport, road paved. If he's coming to Portland, overnight, all of them road they paved. I know how we are. But the Bible calls this system the man of sin. And so Luther believed this. When Luther died, it died with him. So look what happened now. So we have a problem. Remember I told you, there's a 3-hour interval. But God realized now, sun is almost set. The work isn't finished. I can't wait 3 hours. I have to go out 2 hours before the sun set. And I'm going to call one last group of people. There was no 12-hour workers. The parable ends at the end. So whoever these people are, come hell or high water, they're going to finish the work. Come storm, come calm, come poverty, they must finish it because the parable ends at the 11th hour. So 11th hour, they come in at 5 o'clock. Watch it now, friends. The work ends at 6. And God is so gracious. He's going to give these people the same amount of pay. When they come on the scene, everything is almost finished. It's done. 1 hour left. Watch it now. If you're following prophecy, you should know who the 11th hour workers are. Watch it now. Who do the 11th hour workers represent? Now, friends, in my history, the Bible says now, he went out at the 11th hour, 1 hour before the sun set. And he said, you, go to my vineyard, and I'm going to pay you what is right. We believe, based on my study, watch it now, it must symbolize the Millerite movement, which gave birth to the Seventh-day Adventist movement. Friends, from a prophetic perspective, we are the 11th hour workers. We will get the work done. The buck stops with us. Says, you listen, and I'm telling you, you know one of the things I realized? And it's so sad. You know, I think slavery messed us up. We don't appreciate, and I say this to say this, as black people, we don't appreciate ourselves. And I'm going to say it. Do you know that the black race spends more on products to look like other people? No other race spends the amount of money we do. Now, I'm not saying that we should walk around looking crazy. You should look nice, yeah? But friends, I'm telling you, we go to great length to be like them. I was on the plane going back up, and I sat beside a lady, and she had her hair twist, platinum, right? And I noticed she had rubber bands at the end. So we started to talk. I said, oh, you look nice, just conversation. She said, boy, you know, but I wish I had hair like y'all. I said, why? She said, because then I wouldn't have to put these rubber bands in the end. You see, you black, a black person here, it's still black. So here is a white lady saying she wished she had our hair. And the vast majority of Jamaicans don't even appreciate themselves. Friends, you know, in the church is the same thing. As Adventists, we don't value who we are. We is like almost as if we are ashamed. That's why we go to great length to be like everybody else. Friends, that's why I tell you now, some of these city churches, they're lost. God bless the country churches there. I work with churches all day. Because at least when I go there, I can hear something. I feel like I'm in Adventist church. Most churches they go to, and COVID just exposed us. I was watching a praise team. I'm not here knocking people, don't get me wrong. I'm not. But I was watching a praise team, and they had some ladies up there singing. And boy, they knew all these contemporary songs. So one of the guys had to sing a hymn. And I'm watching them, you know. The woman, they were... and it was so obvious they didn't know the hymn. And it was a famous Adventist hymn, but everybody should know. But what happened, we don't appreciate who we are. Yeah. And friends, if you don't prize it, you'll lose it. Friends, let me tell you something. There is no 12-hour workers. Prophetically, the buck stops with us. No, it doesn't make us proudful. We gotta be humble. But God is counting on us. And guess what? We will finish the work. With you or without you. Watch it now. Now, we know, so under Sardis now, we switch from a 9th hour, Philadelphia, brotherly love, Millerites movement. The 11th hour workers came in, and then now remember, the early church had to give the prophecy. By the time we get back to where am I? To Laodicea, right? God called William Miller. You know what William Miller did? He preached, he had the right event, but the wrong time. 50,000 came down to 50. Big disappointment. Out of the 50 now, the phoenix of the Seventh-day Adventist Church came out. You see? Now, so here we are now. The early church now, remember we said, the 6th-hour workers, they had to give the prophecy. The 11th-hour workers, when they came in, they began to advocate the 7th-day Sabbath. And that is why God gave them back the gift of prophecy. You see, once you have the, and that is why I'm not here knocking Sunday churches. They're fine people, but they have no prophets. You know why? Because you're not keeping the law. Friends, if you don't do anything, no law, no prophets. Law, prophets. Go ahead, brother. False prophet. I wouldn't even call them that. You know, they call themselves prophets. Prophetess so-and-so, prophetess so-and-so, right? And they ain't seen anything, right? Now, look what happened now, right? Alright, so now, what should be chosen over fine perfume and riches? Watch it now. The Bible said, Solomon says now, a good name is rather to be chosen over great what? Riches. One more text. Ecclesiastes 1 says now, a good name is better than what? Fine perfume. So the most expensive perfume today, Polo. Yeah? It's better you have a good name than some Polo. A good name. You know, when I was growing up, I never liked my name. Carlton Alexander Knott. It just sounds boring. You know, them kind of girl name, and them kind of name that have a little more swag to it. My name was just flat. And I wouldn't have been Carlton, really. And then Alexander Knott. And then so I looked up my name in what it means. And it means farmer. I'm like, oh, come on, really? You know, and listen, I kid you not, I had to change my name. I was going to drop the Carlton, call my name Alexander Knott, and call myself Xander. Yeah. Where is Xander? It sounds like a rude boy, right? And I asked my mother, I said, Mom, I want to ask that question. Why you name me Carlton? She said this. I have a brother. His name is Noel Edwards Burt. Yeah? Distinguished. She said, I hope you'd have become somebody distinguishable in society. Ritz Carlton. I said, okay, all right, I can work with Carlton. I can work with it. Yeah. A good name. It's better to choose than riches. What happened now? These pioneers now realized we need a name. What are we going to call ourselves? So they got together, and friends, did you know that they came close to call themselves Church of God? Very close. What he said now, this is a good book. It's a good book to get. If you go and invest, it's a good historical book. Like, people are probably get a used copy for about probably $20 online. Yeah? It's a good book now. History said now, please read now, when the decision.
When the decision was at last made to recommend a name, the Church of God had many advocates.
So they were thinking, we call it the Church of God, right? J.B. Frisbee?
J.B. Frisbee had been promoting it since 1854. James White revealed it as his choice in the summer of 1860.
So James White said, you know what, I think we should call ourselves Church of God. But they said, hold on, Church of God, it sounds too braggadocious. Plus, other people call themselves Church of God. We only need 2 Church of God. Find something else. Also, it was written down, the delegates favored a name that would favor the major doctrines held. What better name than Seventh-day Adventist? And when Ellen White went to vision, the Lord showed her, call yourself Seventh-day Adventist. Friends, it is a good name. Don't be ashamed of that name. Today we have so many churches in America. They don't call themselves, they call themselves Faith Church. And they're Adventists, you know. And some of them, they shrink the name to font too. You can't even see it. They're ashamed. What are we ashamed of? You think homosexuals are ashamed? They're not ashamed. They struck their start. Why should I be ashamed? No, we shouldn't be ashamed. No. It had
been applied to them as much as any other, and had the virtue of clearly identifying the chief biblical truths they proclaimed.
Yes.
David Hewitt finally seized the initiative and moved the name Seventh-day Adventist.
Alright, only J.T. Butler opposed it?
Only T.J. Butler opposed it to the bitter end, although several refused to vote either way.
Alright.
Throughout the conference, Ellen White had kept in the background. Now, however, she gave a hearty endorsement to the name chosen.
So she was in the background and they were saying, and she said, finally the Lord showed me in vision, call yourself Seventh-day. This is a God-given name. Right? James White now said, okay, we're going to call ourselves Adventists. We must understand as a people, we are building on the foundation of many generations. In other words, we affirm what Luther did, yeah? What Abraham did, yeah? What Isaiah did. So we're not going to castigate those truths. We're going to just incorporate them, because from the truth, we're going to take it. So they took the truth that other workers had carved out, and then for themselves now, the Sea Sabbath keepers who did not deny any Bible truths discovered and restored by the Baptists, or the Presbyterian, or the Methodist, or Lutheran. They will gather them into one final movement. And baptism by immersion, we didn't invent that one. That was the Anabaptists. Yeah? A lot of the second coming, that was William Miller. So a lot of truths that were out there, we just take them into our church, which is good, but we also brought back to the table the law of God. That's Adventists bring that back. Yeah? We brought back health. Because everybody was eating possum and pig and shrimp and lobster. And some still eating it. Yeah? We brought back, when you're dead, you don't go to heaven. You is dead. And And friends, I'm telling you, the safest place today in Portland is a graveyard. That's prime real estate. The most wanted man in Jamaica today is not a dead man. Is a living man. Why do we fear the dead? You know, I'll tell you something, man. But we do fear the dead, you know. I remember when my grandmother died, everybody came down to bury her, and we were in the country, bush. So I had a little nephew. He wanted to use the bathroom. And outside is pure graveyard. He said, Uncle, take me now. I said, take me where? Even though I know the dead are dead, it's still a phobia. When you walk across the grave, you talk low. Oh, your head starts swelling, right? Tell the truth, be honest. Why do we fear the dead? It's the living you should fear. Not the dead. Exactly. It's in our cerebral, and it's hard to get out, boy. I would not cut through no graveyard in no night. I'm sorry, I've taken a long way around. Even though I know that my brother's dead. It's just something in our being. But we brought, these 11 of our workers, we brought back hellfire. Hellfire ain't burning. It's gonna burn. Yeah. We brought back religious messages. We brought back tithing. Yeah. We unearthed that. We brought back the gift of prophecy and the sanctuary, brothers and sisters. The level, and listen, ain't nobody going nowhere without these teachings. I don't care how packed your churches are on Sunday, that means nothing to God. We're told now, she said, please, with no other name? No name?
No name which we can take will be appropriate, but that which accords with our profession and expresses our faith and marks us as a peculiar people.
The what?
The name Seventh-day Adventist is a standing rebuke to the Protestant world.
Why? Because they dropped the ball. In other words, if you didn't drop the ball, we wouldn't have to arrive. We dropped the ball, Lutherans, they dropped the ball. We are now protesting. Please read now, she says the name.
The name Seventh-day Adventist carries the true features of our faith in front and will convict the inquiring mind. Like an arrow from the Lord's quiver, it will wound the transgressors of God's law.
Friends, I tell people I am a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not going to mumble it. What church you attend? I am a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. I'm not going to deny that name and call myself something else. Like some of y'all are doing. Shame on you. I'm going to beat you with the belt to watch to keep it on. Right? Now, bypass that, right? So first now, we're told now, because we are the last workers, look what God placed upon us. Seventh-day Adventists have been chosen by God as a peculiar people to the world by the great cleaver of truth. He has made them his what? His representative. What would you call that today? A man who goes abroad. Now, when a man, an ambassador, you know he wears the Jamaican flag proudly. Yeah. And when he goes to a restaurant, he asks, you know, the rice and peas. He keeps his, yeah. So we are representing heaven. Let's not be ashamed. In the last work of salvation, friends, L-A-S-T. What part of last don't you understand? The L-A or the S-T. This is we have given the last work. There is no other church. There are no 12-hour workers. And when we come in, the hour is so late, very, very late, right? She says God has given us the greatest wealth of truth to be given to the world, brothers and sisters. Yeah? All these are good statements, right? She says, has God no living church? Yes. She says, we're sorry that there are tears about the church. But what do? Do you leave? Be honest now. Do you condemn all doctors because one doctor does malpractice? Do you say, fire for doctor? Because reading the paper, a man going to get him blood drawn and you cut off the man's foot. Huh? Do you condemn marriages because some wives are abusive to their husband? Huh? What? They don't happen? It doesn't happen. Yeah, you got some wives who are very abusive. No. It's twofold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's reciprocal. It's reciprocal, right? And abuse comes in different ways, you know. You have mental abuse, physical, yeah, right. But you don't condemn marriages. So why do you condemn the church? Because one or two phones are in the church. And you know, it's so sad that a lot of people are doing that. They break off. They start their own Adventist church in Boothe land. And all they do is condemn the church. Friends, I'm not going nowhere. God never told me to look for a perfect church. He said, look for a perfect Jesus. Look for a perfect message. And if you found a perfect church, you would spoil it because you have issue yourself. Researchers say every 5 persons to your right have mental problem. Count 5 persons to your right. You know have issue because research every 5th person have mental problem. Friends, it is in the church. So where are you going? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay. I'm going to be faithful. I'm going to cry aloud. And I'm going to spare not. I'm going to return my tithe and offering. And I'm going to tell you when you mess it up. I'm not joining no church doing woy. I don't care how much views they have on YouTube. What's that? There's no text that says, by their views you shall know them. Where you find that text? Some of us were so enamored. You go on and a man have 1 million views. Oh, God must bless him. Pastor, your sermon only have 10 views. So what? And what's a view anyway? A view, do you know what? I have a chance. I don't care who. I'm not into views. You know what I'm saying? A view is less than 5 seconds. You click on it, it is a view. To track now the time you have to go in your own channel and you can track how many people watch. Yeah? And by the way, YouTube don't pay you by views. They pay you by the duration. That's how they make your money. Because I know. You know what I'm saying? So what's a view? Oh, the pastor break off and the pastor, they have 10,000 views by 12 o'clock. And we have not one. You know, when I come back to your church, my God, not by the views, by their fruits you shall know them. That's right. And God is not encouraging anybody to leave the church. That's right. Now listen, some churches are gone crazy. Yeah, I know that. So fine, take your membership and come to Sherwood. You know what I'm saying? Fine, and listen, even here is not perfect. But you do the best you can, yeah? And you work until Jesus comes. Right? Now this first, right? Now, as I close now, this is so profound. Edward Reed wrote now, today we are near a complete 6,000 years and the beginning of the 7th 1,000-year period. Figuratively, we are living in the Friday evening of Earth's history. Friends, the sun is about to set. When we came on the scene, 1 hour, the sun is about to set. And friends, what I know about the sun, I don't care what you do, the sun will not wait on you. The sun always sets on time. Yeah. Friends, from prophecy, it's almost sundown. We are about, the great millennium Sabbath is about to begin. So when we came on the scene, brothers and sisters, there's only 1 hour left in prophecy. 1 hour left. The wicked really is living up to their typical, what they do on Friday evening. They get their hair done, they have drink up, and run robin. Yeah, that's all they do. So we are here, friends. The sun is about to set. And remember, the Sabbath always begins on time. We are here, friends. Now, what do you need? Let me explain as I close. God wills eternity. Yeah? Now, because of sin, God broke up a piece of eternity and gave it to us, and we call it TIME. Now, the purpose of time is to bring you back to eternity. That's what time is for now. not to make a living, but to make a life. Now, God has given humanity 7,000 years. Plan of salvation. Now remember, you work 6 days, God take what? 1. So he gives 7. He said, take 6. And I take 1. Now, the earth is 6,000 years old. Yeah? Now watch it now, friends. From creation to the flood, I'm giving you a rough draft, is 2,000 years. So we only have 4,000 left. When Christ came on the scene, Ellen White says he took on flesh after it was weakened by 4,000 years. So when Christ came on the scene, we already used up 4,000 of the 6,000 years. Friends, and we say Jesus came 2,000 years ago. Friends, do you know how much time we have left in the 6,000 years? I'm not here setting dates. I'm just giving you my rough draft. We have less than 50 years left. I wish I could prove it to you. So when we came into work, friends, time is finished. Only 1 hour left. And so here we see the truth. It took a dip, but it began to revive. And today, friends, God is counting on you and I. And guess what? This church will not fail. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff is happening in the church right now. And I'm going to show you, you don't want to miss part 3. Because all the magic, God's going to move you out of the way. See, I don't worry now. I stop worrying, I just pray. Because this church will not fail. It will accomplish the work with or without it. So I appeal to you, you better get on board. You better fly right. Because it will pass you by. And it's passing many by. I'm going to show you. So today, friends, today I am thankful and grateful that I am a member of God's Reverend Church. And by the grace of God, I plan to use my time, my talent, my means, whatever way I can, to advance the cause of God. Only a good man will employ a man 1 hour before the day is over and give him a full day's pay. What a good God! That's the kind of God we serve. And friends, if you hold out to God, even to the end of life's journey, you will not be disappointed with the reward that God has in store for you. I appeal to you, be thou faithful even until death. That's right. God will give you and I a crown of life. Will you bless this morning? Amen. To God be the glory. Great things he has done. Father in heaven, oh Lord, what can we say but thanks? That you have called the Seventh-day Adventist Church the 11th hour workers of prophecy to bring the work to completion. Many of us, Lord, we have been getting weary and tired. We don't have the energy and the zeal and the commitment we used to have. Oh God, please revive us. Help us to realize that the sun is almost setting. And in a few short months to a few short years, he that shall come will come and will not tarry, is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm not afraid to let go. I know you're holding me. You are the one I'm leaning on. You are my hope and my strength. I just want to be where you are, living daily in your presence. be where you are.